Hello, friends. Welcome to the Randolph College for the Performing Arts Graduation Ceremony 2020. My name is Michael. I'm the Artistic Director of the school. Now, before we move to celebrating the accomplishments of our graduates, I would like us to take a moment to acknowledge the land on which Randolph College operates. For thousands of years, this land has been the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Other nations, both recorded and unrecorded, have made this land their home. Toronto and its land is situated within territories governed by the Dish with One Spoon Treaty. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Mississauga that bound them to share the land and protect its resources. Subsequent Indigenous peoples and other nations, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of friendship, respect, and peace. Today, this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous, Inuit, and Métis people. Thank you to the people on whose territory we live, work, and thrive. We are grateful to have the opportunity to be here on this land, and we will put our acknowledgement into action. Now, as many of you may know, every year Randolph College has two graduation ceremonies, but this year has been unique. Today, we will be celebrating the accomplishments of two classes in one ceremony, making this a celebration of one of the largest and most resilient cohorts that we have ever had the privilege of graduating. It is my pleasure to present you now with the Randolph College graduates of 2020.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jeff Plonikoff, and I have the very great privilege of being the Executive Director at Randolph College for the Performing Arts. And I'm here today to congratulate and celebrate our grads as they celebrate and recognize their time with us and prepare to move forward. It's an exciting time. I want to go back for just a second and have you think about when you were a kid and somebody said, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" I am not what I said when I was a kid. I wanted to be a farmer, and I would have been a horrible farmer, and I probably wouldn't have enjoyed a single second of it. But here I am now, and I love what I'm doing and where I am and who I'm working with. That's you. The reason I bring it up is because you're at a point where a lot of people, and maybe yourself, are saying, what do I want to be after grad? It's good to have goals. I hope you have goals. I hope you give some thought to what those goals are. I want, instead of necessarily a goal, maybe think of what success looks like and what it looks like to you, because it's highly variable. And I want to, if I may, tell you a bit about me, and then I'll get back to you. I watch a lot of TV that is, well, specifically cooking TV. I love cooking shows, Top Chef, Chopped, etc., etc. One of the things that I've noticed is that it's a combination of things. It is what the chef brings to the table and what they have to work with. So when I say that, I mean, the chef brings a knife roll. They bring all of the skills and training that they have learned over the years. They bring the experiences that they've had to the table and then use them. And then what is there, what they have to work with, that's the ingredients that they're given: oysters, asparagus, Oreo cookies, whatever the case may be. And then they combine the two into something that's fantastic. And the chefs that usually win as well are the ones that infuse it or inform it with a little bit of them. So I'm not saying that cooking is the same as performing arts, but I'm saying maybe this experience kind of is. When you came here and joined us, you had all of the talent. We saw that. That is the reason you are here. That is the reason we chose you. You have the talent. But hopefully, over your time with us, we have helped you hone it. We have brought to light new ways of using it, or different ways. We have exposed you to new ideas and ways of bringing your talent out, and ways of making you and it exceptional. That's what you bring to the table as artists. The ingredients are the current moments that you're going through, other people that you're interacting with, the world at large, the environment you're in, all of these kinds of things, your mood in the moment, etc., etc., etc. The script you're given, or the muse that comes crashing in and derails you and makes you begin some fantastic art. All of that's ingredients. I really want to stress that you had it all when you came here. It's just better now. You had the talent, and now you have craft. And your craft is what's going to help make you successful in whatever way success shows up for you. I want you to know that your goals will change. Who you want to be, what you want to do, what success looks like, this will all change. And this will sometimes change often. You may not recognize it as it's happening, but that's okay. I also want you to recognize that you're going to fall every once in a while. You're going to stumble. And this is also okay. This is normal. Use it. It's an ingredient. It's not the chef. It's an ingredient. It will inform your art, your craft. I really want to tell you how very much I'm looking forward to seeing what you do out in the world. I have missed you. I have missed being in the building with you and the day-to-day. But I know that as I look out in the years ahead, I'm going to see your names and I'm going to follow what you do. And I can't wait to see how you manifest your talents and how you continue to hone your craft out in the world, because it's going to be amazing. I have no doubt of that. And I know this because you are amazing. And I cannot stress that enough. I am excited. I am proud. I am pleased. I wish you every single success out in the world, because you have earned it and you deserve it. And as I said, I can't wait to see what you do, people. It's going to be awesome. Thank you for your time with us. Please stay in touch. We always want to highlight and celebrate what our alumni are doing. And you get to call yourselves that very, very shortly. You move from students to graduates to alumni. And it's awesome. Go forth and do good things. And as I said, thank you. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see what you do. And I'm going to sign off. Ciao.
Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper
would Randolph be like without these term sixes? I mean, sevens. Sixes? We watched them flourish over their time here, creating many memorable moments both online and in person. To properly cover all the great memes, we would be talking for days, or even weeks. The problem is deciding what memes not to mention. Of course, we have to include their love for Michael
We have
Reinhardt.
to tell them about High School Musical.
Okay, enough. We'll sing the biggest meme of them all. Give my regards to Broadway.
What's that?
The overture is about to start, so cross your fingers and hold your heart. It's curtain time and away we go. Another ending of another show. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the pane, and the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. Could have danced all night, could have danced all night, and still have begged for more. There is nothing like a dame, nothing in the world. There is nothing you can name that is anything like a dame, a dame. I have a brand new hairdo with my eyelashes all in curl. There is nothing like a dame hairdo. I enjoy being a girl.
I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix. I always say, come on, let's go. Just when I ought to say nix.
We're your dream girls, boys. We'll make you happy. We're your dream girls, boys. We'll always care. And all you gotta do is dream. Baby, we'll be there. We're your dream girls. Thank heaven for little girls. Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. So take her out, fellas. Find her an empty lap, fellas. Dolly'll never go away again. What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret. 110 coordinates close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones hit the counterpoint, while 110 cornets waved the air. But then it was they took my place as the one and only bass, and then up and down the square. Jesus Christ, superstar, do you think you're what they say you are? Day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day. Dear Lord, three things I pray, to see thee more clearly, day by day, love thee more dearly, day by day, follow thee more clearly, day by day, by day, by day, by day. Now's our inning, stand the world on its ear, set it spinning, that'll be just the beginning, the beginning. The sun'll come up tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're always a day. Give my regards to old Broadway.
Hi there, I'm Sarah Farb, and I'm so honored to be speaking to you today. Such a big day, congratulations. On March 11th of this year, I walked into work at Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway on what was supposed to be my last week of performances. I'd been with the show for nearly 15 months, including rehearsal, and saying goodbye was going to be hard. I was glad I had a full week to digest the culmination of this lifelong dream that I still couldn't fully wrap my head around. Outside the walls of the theater, the threat of COVID-19 was closing in. What in February we had regarded from afar as a bad situation happening over there had now officially crossed the ocean and landed at our doorstep. We got news that day, Wednesday, March 11th, that an usher who worked at 2 different Broadway shows had tested positive for COVID-19. We were growing concerned the show might need to shut down the next week. By the end of the second show that day, after the NBA had announced its season suspension and the world learned that Tom Hanks had tested positive, it wasn't clear whether we would even be back the next day. And we weren't. That day, Thursday, March the 12th, Broadway shut down, signaling a monumental loss for our community. Theaters all around the world began to follow suit, and just like that, our livelihoods, our joy vanished. The toll that this virus has taken on our beloved industry, the powerlessness, the pain, the confusion, the grief, has caused the kind of collective mourning that no one but we can really truly understand. We watched as important dates, openings, first rehearsals, concerts came and went without ceremony or celebration. We watched everything slip away. And yet, we still made art. We figured out how, because as artists, we must. We turned to our computers and phones and adapted almost immediately and learned how to function in this completely foreign, lonely place. People posting songs, films, dances. The artistic output was overwhelming. It still is. Now that we've had some time to grow even more used to our circumstances, skills have been fine-tuned and content has been polished. It doesn't mean that theater is forgotten, though. I'd actually say with each new online event. Hoping to sate our appetites for theater, our longing for it increases even more. The chasm it's left seems to widen, even as we enjoy the art that we do for the moment have. You all are lucky. You are the generation that will emerge into our reborn industry, one that takes into account how fragile our work is and how lucky we are to do it. An industry that won't take anything for granted. You will enter into an industry that has decided to definitively and loudly do away with this systemic racism and open itself up to new stories and new leaders. Your barometer for what theater and art is and can be will be shaped by the hardships and changes of this year, and you will be all the more adaptable and creative and pliable. And I'm so glad that you all still believe in theater. And I can't wait to see you all at work, doing what we all love so much, having clung for our lives to the promise of its return. Congratulations, all of you. What a thing you've achieved. I'd like to sing a song for you that encapsulates this sentiment that I've laid out. It's Beautiful City from Godspell by Stephen Schwartz, and accompanying me is Jeannie Weiss. Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start. Slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of men. A city of men.
Hey, friends. Welcome to your graduation. I've spent some time preparing to talk to you today, and in doing so, have found myself reflecting on how I've known you all these past 2+ years, how I've admired your creativity and your humility and your resilience. In thinking about you all, I found myself trying to conjure you, to imagine these two classes and kind of draw a line back through my observation of all you in this time. In doing so, I remembered many of the touchstone moments in your training. For the large term 6+, I remembered Wonderful Town. I remembered your extraordinary online creations last May. I remembered the shows that didn't come to pass. I remembered your lab, which still sits as kind of a highlight of my time in the school when I started to see what was in fact possible for this place. I remembered your Myther and your Shakespeare. I remembered the first day of enacting foundations that had never been done before. And for the smaller group termed 6, of course, I thought about a Sunshine Boy. A dispute that for a while I wasn't sure how it was going to work. And then suddenly you all came together and built something extraordinary. I remembered the ingenuity of your online lab as it transitioned from live to online, your Myther, your Shakespeare. I remembered a moment in Scene Study 4 when we got to do Godot and then didn't quite finish it or finished it in a different kind of circumstance. I remembered the affection that Kevin felt for your class and would talk about you all during foundations. I remembered your strength as a group. I saw two groups with very different experiences, very different temperaments, and at times even a different education. But alongside thinking about your different trajectories, I kept coming back to an element that is truly shared by both groups. I kept noticing this remarkable desire on all of your behalves to engage with your community and actively try and make it a better place. And this is something that I would like to note that you've really done in your time here for the people around you. In thinking about this day and these two classes, I concluded I wanted to return to a theme I had discussed in past graduations. It's something that we've talked about in length. We kind of had to. It is the bedrock of our form. Today, during this graduation, I wanted to remind us once again about the idea of ritual. In different times over the past 2 years, all of us have sat and spoken about this thing. We discussed that performance had a ritual origin and then eventually posed the question, what is ritual? And together we made lists in class, concluding that a ritual is a series of special practices and events localized in a special place for a particular duration of time. And from all that work and activity, a change occurs. The wedding is a ritual to make a marriage. A graduation, a ritual to make a graduate. Somehow, a ritual through words, actions, and events creates something, a change. On that day, the day of our conversations, I recall it was suggested we were in the early stages of something called the ritual of theater school. And it is this ritual I'd like to bring our attention back to now. In a way, for these last 2 years, we have been inside a ritual, one that exists here, in this place, for this time, with these people, in these activities. And perhaps the changes that are the core function of this ritual have not always been evident. This is not surprising. How could they be? A ritual is an environment. It is something you exist within. There's no time or distance to appraise it fully. And one might assume that maybe amidst like our lives and day-to-days and the events of the world, that the ritual that you are all part of is at times obscured or forgotten. This is to be expected. But now you're here. And so we must realize that though perhaps sometimes we had forgotten about the ritual did not forget about us. What is the ritual of theater school? That's not an easy question, and I imagine there would be as many answers in this space as there are graduates. And that's how it should be. You know, the ritual of theater school trains an individual in a type of training related to the theater. It creates a space for the body to learn practices, techniques, to confront ideas, to explore. Perhaps, at its most simple, the ritual of theater school is an encounter between a body and a craft for a prolonged period of time. And all of this results in some sort of degree of understanding. But frankly, that's a pretty trivial and general definition. It doesn't really consider the real stuff of the ritual. That being you. And how, alongside these practices and techniques, you emerged as you are today. This emergence is something that is beyond the scope of this speech, probably beyond training, maybe even beyond language itself. The ritual of theater school contributed to the individuals here before us in all of their complexity, their beauty, and their contradiction. Today's graduation is the conclusion of the ritual that is theater school. And with the conclusion, all the changes in this time and in this ritual will be complete. I urge you in the coming days and weeks, take some time to reflect on this, to consider the change, to take stock of where you are and what you've experienced. It is profound, it has to be. It is a period of your life. This is perhaps the beauty of a ritual. A ritual is nothing more or less than a synecdoche for life. But unlike life, like a full life that is sprawling and complex, impossible to conceive in its entirety, a ritual creates a kind of container, boundaries by which we can observe the changes, to see how it came about, to draw a line and trace it. A ritual gives us a medium to reflect on ourselves and to know that we are changing and that change is inevitable, and maybe in that simple truism resides a kind of hope. A dual recognition that things are temporary and that they continue. But also that now, for a brief moment, we are simply here as we are in this event. But I'm wool gathering. We're not here today to talk about rituals in general. Rather, we're here for this ritual, your ritual at the end of theater school. And as such, it should be noted that this ritual belongs to no one but you. You were the participants. You made the class that is your collective. And ultimately, you were the change. And now, as we reach the end of this ritual, you must ask yourself what to do with where you are. For what it's worth, my advice would be the answer is kind of simple. Now you have to take the change that occurred, and with it, go into the world. And from there, you can begin the next great ritual. Thank you, friends. Happy graduation. I wish you luck, and I wish you joy. Keep in touch.
What if I told you you could change the world with just one thought? What if I told you you could be the one? Anything you desired, kid, anything on a plate, all within your power to create. I know somewhere in the darkness there's a story meant for me, where I always know exactly what to say. I know somewhere some surprising ending waits for me to tell it my own way. Be the hero of your story if you can.
Be the champion in the fight for your land.
Don't depend on other people to put paper next to pen. Be the hero of your story, kid, and then you can rise to be the hero once again. Every tale that you invent to be a life that you make real. For each character you meet becomes your friend. You don't need to be a novelist to make believe what's waiting round the bend. Be the hero of your story till it's done. Like a promenade that you were born to run. If you understand this premise, you will never be alone. You can conquer every challenge. You can face each stepping stone. Be the hero of your story. Be the hero every time you get the chance. If the music stops, continue with the dance. On a wing or on a prayer, you get there only with your voice. Be attentive.
Be inventive.
Be the first one to rejoice. With a story in your heart, you won't need any other choice. You're the hero fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be yours. Yeah!
Good afternoon, my friends and family, the families of my friends, fellow graduates, and mentors who have brought us to this very special moment in time. My name is Claudia Nacarado, and I would like to express my gratitude for the honor of speaking on behalf of Mike Reinhardt's favorite class ever. And who could blame him for keeping us near and dear to his heart? I certainly can't, especially when all of you have left an indelible mark on mine. On the very first day, when I was an hour late for jazz class because I could not figure out the schedule, who would have thought that I would meet the most creative, supportive, funny, and exceptional goblins and people I have ever met? Or that I would find everything I didn't know I was looking for throughout the last 7 terms. Each term has been an enlightening new chapter of what has been a very long and life-changing book. The first few chapters, we got to know each other. Not slowly or tentatively like how I imagine people in non-theater programs do, but with reckless abandon. Through Mr. Hit and Balthazar, John Beale broke down our walls as we learned to laugh. And laugh. In movement through exercises of eye contact and hugs that seemed to last 5 minutes too long, Alex Sedaris led us to bravely stare vulnerability in the face. Over the course of the first 2 terms, we gave each other pieces of ourselves, always trusting that these pieces would be safely kept. And they were. In classes like MTP, Scene Study, and Voice and Text, we became familiar with the colors and nuances of our voices. We broke down barriers, celebrated our individuality and each other as we began to realize what a special group we are. In Acting Foundations with the ultimate dynamic duo of Mike and Kevin, we turned into cats, fell from the sky, spiraled, and danced as hard as we could. In Mither, after honing our techniques, we finally performed for an audience. That felt incredible. It was the joy of sharing joy. As our artistry evolved in our middle chapters and new teachers entered the scene, we came to know film through Dylan's lens. We came into our own under the tutelage of mentors like Bruce Dow, Amy, and Irma. They rocked our worlds. This was where we really began to understand ourselves and our personal artistic styles and aesthetics. We fearlessly worked through Shakespeare scenes and monologues in some pretty unconventional ways. Lab was so special to us because it was an opportunity to test our skills as creators and devisers of theater and compose pieces that revealed our true genre. We were able to explore the methods that worked for us and envisioned the artists we want to be. Together, we built a solid foundation that we continue to strengthen through endurance and determination, trust, and many tears, so many tears, all for the love and respect of our craft. This allowed us to remain steadfast in our personal progress and enter into our final chapters with confidence and conviction. All the plans were underway for these final chapters, and now this concept of plan is like an echo from a distant age. With the global pandemic, our program had to be carried out in a completely new and unseen way, vastly different than it was intended to be. Just when we began to appreciate the character of our old, creaky, and sometimes smelly hallways, we were forced to navigate new, unfamiliar, and unpredictable cyber halls. Luckily for us, uncharted territory is nothing new to our term. All along, we had to adjust to unexpected program and curriculum changes as students. Or should I say, as guinea pigs? Yet, we remained positive and motivated, even adaptable and available in the face of such unique circumstances. What unique circumstances, you ask? Well, how about when weeks into rehearsal of The Life of Galileo, and days before the awakening of spring was set to open, we were placed into lockdown? Or when we thought our final musical would be The Little Mermaid? Or Wonderful Town the Musical, come to life from green screens erected in our basements and living rooms. Through all this, we can truly call ourselves resilient because we came together and exceeded despite all obstacles in our way. What better skills to gain as artists than resilience and adaptability? We worked hard to get to this point, but we certainly didn't do it on our own. We stand here as distanced graduates because of the unrelenting support and endless positivity of our instructors at Randolph. Our sincerest gratitude. To our families, who put up with our drama and continue to do so. I know many of you must have listened to the stories we have told about our experiences here and had no idea what we were talking about. Thank you for listening. I would be remiss if I did not mention each of my fellow classmates, as is customary of previous Randolph valedictorians, and as all of us deserve recognition and celebration. In light of this unprecedented year, this tribute too will be unconventional. Stay tuned for the link following my concluding remarks. My friends, life rarely hands you a golden opportunity, so we must make one. As a community of artists, we are ultimately responsible for our own success, and as such, we must remain proactive, disciplined, open-minded, and consume endless amounts of coffee. We must remember that although this graduation marks the end of our time at Randolph, it does not mark the end of the friendships and connections we have made. I cannot wait to see you in audition rooms and as we collaborate on projects and new works together, forging ahead as young and innovative minds in our profession. My fellow graduates, our graduation is a mere passport into the industry. Our destinations will likely differ. Our timelines and opportunities will certainly vary, and even our travel companions will come and go. Just remember, on every journey, we must travel on our own terms. Bon voyage.
We finally figured out, yeah, yeah.
should I call you fellow theater survivors of 2020? And with special regards, my dear Janley Famrari. Some of us have left, some of us are new, but we are all a part of the small term family. And here we are, probably in our living rooms with PJs or sparkly dresses and comfy socks. But we are all still virtually gathered today to cherish and celebrate these past 2 years that we spent at this place called Randolph. And by place, I don't mean an old building where some rooms are really cold and some are really hot and it all smells like sweat. No. By place, I mean the feeling, the home, the family that exists beyond any walls. And a place that, at least for me, has made me feel like I belonged in this world in a way that I had never felt before. I remember when we all first hung out together as a term. It was after our first week of classes. And the moment that we started singing Newsies at the top of our lungs, I knew that I had found a group of people that loved musical theater as much as I did. And we are a rare kind. And from that moment, I knew that these were probably going to be some of the best years of my life. And now, looking back, I know that they were. But to be very honest, I was actually wrong as to why. I thought that at the end of 2020, when I graduated, I was going to be this hyper-flexible performer on my way to Broadway. That didn't happen. I mean, Broadway as a whole didn't happen in 2020, but that's another story. And hyper-flexible was always a very faraway dream. But I'm just so thankful that my time at Randolph did not end the way that I expected it to. And I'm so grateful that in addition to becoming a well-rounded performer, I found out that it actually isn't about whether you can do the splits or you can sing really high or you know all the lines to Hamlet. It goes beyond reaching all of these very specific standards. I learned that artist is a malleable word. And cheers to 2020 for making us extra malleable artists. It's actually about being yourself and knowing that that is enough. It's knowing that we will never know the answer to questions like, what is art? And that's okay. And regardless of that, we will always still love Mike. It's knowing that artist is not a title, it's a way of life, and it means something different to each one of us. And it isn't a finish line, it's a path. A beautiful, never-ending path. And that's why I know that the future holds great things for all of us. Because we already have everything that we need within us. And this is just the start of our lives as artists of this world. And no matter what we do, we will always have the memories. Like dancing as hard as we can to High School Musical and being in improv or being a slice of pizza for Halloween or crying at Voice and Text, because eventually we all do. The one thing that I know is that it takes more than a building to build these memories. It takes wonderful people. And I am so lucky to have been surrounded by them for the past 2 years. staff, faculty, students. And even when the building that held us together was stripped away from us unexpectedly, I knew that those wonderful people were going to be by my side. Because sometimes it's when the physical lacks that we can realize the real power of presence. And Randolph, and specifically the Janley family, have been present every day for the past 2 years, without any breaks. And I'm so thankful for that. So congratulations on your graduation. We made it! Now let's all get out there, virtually. After all the world of fuzz. I love you all so much.
I could find the whole meaning of life in those sad eyes. They've seen things that you'll never quite say, but I hear. Come out of hiding, I'm right here beside you. And I'll stay there as long as you let me. Because you matter to me. Simple and plain and not much to ask from somebody. You matter to me. I promise you do. You matter too. I promise you do. You matter to me. It's addictive the minute you let yourself think. The things that I say just might matter to someone. All of this time I've been keeping my mind on the running away. And for the first time I think I'd consider the stay. Because you matter to me. Simple and plain and not much to ask from somebody. You matter to me. I promise you do. You matter too. I promise you do. Simple and plain and not much to ask from somebody. You matter to me. I promise you do. Out of hiding, I'm right here beside you. As long as you have me, out of hiding, I'm right here beside you. I promise you do. You do, you matter to me. see. You matter to me.
Hi, I'm Karen Thompson, and I'm delighted to present the second annual Dave Thompson Memorial Award for Most Improved Musicianship. Dave was a fine musician with a great sense of humor, and he enjoyed a long and rewarding career in the musical theater industry. If he were here tonight, he would tell you to practice, tell you to learn more about music, practice, tell you to stay in character, practice some more, remember where the beat is and always count it in, practice again, and always keep your sense of humor. Stars can be made in the musical theater business, but the magic is just not there if you don't have stars in the ensemble. And all the ensemble pieces that I have seen at Randolph have been stellar, and I've enjoyed them so much, and Dave has been proud of them as well. So congratulations to all of you graduates, and to this award winner especially. Good night.
Michaela Barwick, Noah Bachner, Fiona Kane, Abigail Crispo, Marie Doucette, Elise Funk, Jenna Geen, Madison Gilbert, Victoria Grosselfunger, Tara Hawley, Logan Hickey, Emily Johnston, Candace Kerr, Kennedy Lear, Gabrielle Levesque, Grayson Lutz, Eden Lyons, Alexander Mantia, Elizabeth Mitsuka, Paula Morales, Claudia Nacarado, Riley O, Brenna Paulson, Catherine Prefontaine, Camille Richard, Claire Robinson, Haley Rourke, Vivian Shepard, Abigail Silvera, Brooke Smith, Christy Sparrow, Jaden Trelaw, Camila Farrar, Kyra Harris, Sadie Harrison, Sydney Ginger, Katia Leroux, Sarah McMillan, Daniel Roussel, Justine Santiago, Sophie St. Jean, Emily Templeman,